Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide for Conan Exiles. And in this video, I'm going to be in the Isle of Siptah again. I'm going to show you how to get all of the weapon recipes out of the delving bench. Now, I did explain how the delving bench worked in my previous video that covered the armors, but I'm going to explain it very briefly in this video as well. So the very first thing that you'll need to do is to learn the recipe for the delving bench, which you can get them from these ley shrines that I'm showing you on the map actually. And of course, I'm just going to go to a random location to show you what you need to interact with to get the recipe. Now, of course, you can just come up here to any of these ley shrines that I showed you. You just go into them and then go up the steps to the upper level. Let me just find my way around this one. And where you have the altar that summons these surges, you will have a little thing that you can interact with, which is this right there. And it will teach you the delving bench and elder constructions. Once you have that, you can then craft the delving bench, and then you can put armors and weapons into the delving bench to delve them, which will remove the durability and then give you a recipe potentially. There is a chance you may not get that. Now, for each thing that you delve, it will cost you 20 Eldarium, and to get the Eldarium or Eldarium bars, you will need to then forge the unstable Eldarium into the Eldarium bars in the forge. So over there you saw what I did. That is how many weapons I delved. Now normally I delved somewhere around 150, actually 150 of each weapon type to get the recipes. Now let me explain what I did here, because this is a bit more complex than the armor set. There's a lot more to go. So in this vault right here, I spawned in all of the weapon recipes, and then I chose a specific weapon, delved 150 pieces of that weapon until I got recipes from it, and then with the recipes I then cross-referenced it with what I had in the vault. So this is basically what I found to be the cheapest to delve, and this is the hardened steel sword, and from that I got all of these recipes. Down here are the recipes and the weapon that I delved, and these are the recipes that were in the vault. So they are the exact same thing. The top portion is the undelved part and the recipes that I spawned in, and at the bottom is what I delved and what I got from 150 pieces. So over here we have the hardened steel sword, and I got the dripping longsword, berserker's blade, sword of the Legion, bright slice, long short sword, deceiver, rebel, heartblade, transference, and lion slayer. So these are the recipes I got from the sword over here. So this is the hardened steel sword. As you can see, all durability has been removed. Now of course you can repair this and reuse it, and yeah, so as I said, you need to craft the decaying Eldarium into Eldarium using the forge. I think I mispronounced it at the beginning of the video. The hardened steel spear will get you the blasphemous spear, spire, metal eater, pike of the Legion, anger spike. So yeah, that is anger spike right there. Depraved spear, hunter's spear, bitter bite, reach of the warrior, and finally the impaling spear. So this is what I got from delving 100 of these spears. We're now going to go on to the bows, and again the hardened steel bow is what I used, and we got bone splinter bow, eye piercer, once upon a string, twice upon an arrow. So yeah, they're very similar. I just wanted to make sure that I pronounced them right. The oak, string of the Legion, frenzied bow, masterful bow, and long shot. Here we have the hammers. Again, hardened steel hammers what I used. Warhammer of the Legion is what I got in terms of recipes. Swift Blow, Massacre, Headache, Fervor, probably butcher that one. Despicable Maul, Draining Maul, Thrashing Maul, Warlord's Hammer, and Tundra. For the maces, again, I used the Hardened Steel Mace. This is the cheapest option. And I got Harm, Surprise Blow, Inheritance, Bonebreaker Mace, Universal Mace, Mace of the Legion, Gravebane, Headcracker, and Scepter of the Unclean. Now these are the recipes from that, and let's go on to the swords. This is the Steel Greatsword, so the Hardened Steel Greatsword, and I got Wild Swing, Draining Will, Greatsword of the Legion, Barbaric Greatsword, Frenzied Edge, Corroding Sword, Mercenary, Flesh Eater, Nightlight, and Fever. From the axes, I got... So again, I use the Hardened Steel War Axe for this. War Axe of the Legion, the Annoying Shard, Song of Torn, Rhyme, Death to Trees, Survivor's Axe, Well-Forged Axe, Revealed Truth, and Rushing Edge. And finally, we're going to go on to the daggers before we move on to the more complicated ones. And again, I used the Hardened Steel daggers. And we got Vainka, Daggers of the Warsmith, Daggers of the Legion, Slayer's Blades, Heart Freezer, Blood-Soaked Daggers, Draining Knives, Acidic Knives, Blunt Daggers, and finally we got the Balancing Daggers. Now the next weapons I'm going to show you require something a lot more expensive, and of course that would be the Star Metal, and that is the cheapest that you need to use in order to get these recipes. So I've got 4 chests right here. Last one is things that I didn't get, and yeah, so bear in mind all of these weapons I spawned in and dealt 150 of them, and still I missed out a couple of recipes. So we're going to start off with the Star Metal Great Axe, and that delved into Bite, Axe of the Savage, Sorcerer's Great Axe, Ripping Great Axe, Grief, Ice Core, Axe of the Adventurer, Hamstringing Great Axe, Great Axe of the Legion, and finally Sunburn. Now these are very expensive recipes to get in the Delving Bench, just remind you. The Katana, now you need to use the Epic Katana to delve it, very important here. I couldn't do it with the normal Katana, so again another expensive weapon. And I got Sovereign, Razor Shard, Venom Coated Blade, Sapping Blade, Shines Like Silver, Wicked Edge, Curved Blade of the Legion, Enraged Sword, Cold Heart, and Gouging Blade. And finally we're going to go onto the short swords. So this is again Star Metal short sword that I used. And I got Guardsman Sword, Bad Karma, Venom Drenched Gladius, Short Sword of the Legion, Titan's Fingernail, Sword of the Reaver, Penetrator, Corruptor of Souls, Bane of the Dead, and Leg Slicer. Some of these have some really weird names. So these are all Star Metal, and these are the ones that I didn't get. Now these are all delved from the Hardened Steel. So I got Mace right here, so Strange Mace from the Hardened Steel. Now this is something I didn't get, despite the fact that I delved 150 of these. Next one is Huntress, which is a bow, and again, you're supposed to get this from the Hardened Steel stuff, or you should get it from the Hardened Steel stuff, right there. And War Axe of the Warlord, and I got these wrong right here, so I'm going to swap them. But again, you're supposed to use the Hardened Steel War Axe right there, and I didn't get these. Now these are 3 recipes that are still in there. You can delve the Hardened Steel stuff to get these recipes, and just kind of show you the difference. Sometimes you don't necessarily get a better weapon, and that's pretty much all of the recipes in the game for all of the weapons. Now this took a long time to go through. I hope you guys find it useful and helpful. Now this video was only intended to showcase how to get all of the weapon recipes. I did not focus on showcasing the weapons themselves and of course the stats on the weapons. But if you guys want me to do that, let me know down below. If a lot of people or enough people ask for it, I'll be more than happy to do so. I do hope that you have found this video useful and informative. If you have, please don't forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethopia Discord. Links, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in the pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.